Well, Spurs fans are definitely a happy bunch today, or are they, Craig? Harry Kane pledging his immediate future to Spurs, at least saying that he will be staying with them for this season, Craig. But what do you make of how everything was handled, I suppose, both on Spurs side and Harry Kane's side? Because, you know, Spurs fans probably feel like it's left them with a bad taste in their mouth, and that maybe, you know, they're just prolonging the inevitable.
Well, if it was Harry Kane or his camp, I wouldn't give a toss really about whether Spurs fans are happy or not, because this is the business. He, rightly or wrongly, whatever way they went about it, and there's no embarrassment here because he pushed for a move, as far as I'm aware. Whether you think he pushed hard enough or not, that's up for debate. We don't know the backstory completely. And Daniel Levy is a hard-nosed businessman who fought tooth and nail and still is, and it could change, we never know, but has said and been steadfast in saying, you know, until we have something tangible, then Harry's gone nowhere. And even if we get something like that, he may not be going. So, yeah, this story has rumbled, and as I said, it might still have a couple of hurdles to get over. But I tell you what, the embarrassing thing here is, and if you're looking at Kane's camp, is the fact that whoever was his representation when he signed that long-term contract, and he signed that contract to one, increase his wages, correctly so, bearing in mind the standard of player he is, but two, to protect the club's value of him in a wacky transfer market. But the big mistake and the embarrassment here is that his representation didn't put in a release clause at a certain price, thus guaranteeing him no need to go down this gentleman's agreement nonsense. So that's where the embarrassment comes. And we know Erling Haaland has one at Borussia Dortmund. There are other players who have them. And that's the big mistake that they made. And that's left him in a quandary because Tottenham are fighting tooth and nail. But clearly, I think if it doesn't come off, it's a massive disappointment, I think, for that player because, you know, whilst Tottenham will huff and puff under the new manager, they haven't got the squad to compete. And we have one of Europe's elite strikers still at the prime of his career, and he's going to be stuck in a club that are really going nowhere. And we know, obviously, City want him, and they're a club that are going to be challenging for every competition this year again. So from a purely player's perspective, this is massively disappointing. And I can understand why he pushed for a move. It's all the sort of sideshows around it that I think ultimately might cost him.
And like you said, City made it known that they do want him. Harry Kane made it known that he was actually fancying a move to Manchester City. City now are in a position where they tend to get what they want, Craig. Do they wait the year and try again next year, or with what's left of this transfer window, knowing that they can attract big names, knowing that, you know, there's the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo seemingly unhappy? What do? Do they wait, or do they look for someone now?
Listen, City will be like every other club with the money next summer. Harry Kane will be a sideshow. There's only one big Norwegian guy with a ponytail that's smashing defenders left, right, and centre and scoring every week. And he's almost what is he, 7 or 8 years younger than Harry Kane. He's bigger, he's more powerful, he's stronger, he's got a decade in front of him. They'll be fighting tooth and nail over him. And if they don't get him, then they may turn to him, or they may turn to Lewandowski, who recently has made it clear that he's kind of unhappy. Everyone seems unhappy. Oh, I'm unhappy here, or I'm unhappy here. We're the only ones that are happy. But, you know, so there's no guarantee that, you know, in 12 months down the line. And that's the big risk here for Kane, because an occupational hazard of what we do as players and former players was injuries. And it only takes a bad injury or whatever, or an injury-laden season for City to say, well, you know, don't know if I want to risk that again. He only played 20 times this year. So you just can't factor these in. So it's a huge risk for him that if he thinks that, I'm guessing he'll be 29 or thereabouts come next summer. Once you get close to that 30 mark, the clubs start to have a deeper look at what they're going to pay for you and how long you're going to be able to play for this club. Obviously, they don't have that with Erling Haaland. That's why, unless there's a done deal before then, there'll be a bun fight for his services for all the big clubs next year, not Harry Kane.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.